Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today I'm going to talk about some of the things, small tweaks the characters' kits the CG could make that would make me just that much happier. And I think these are fairly small changes. Some of them a little bigger, and I think the impact of these kit changes, would be drastic. And I think it would make a lot of some of our formerly good, maybe even formerly really useful characters really viable again. Now let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing is something that a lot of people have talked about, is the concept of adding Order 66 to clones. Now think about how that would work. Think about an Order 66 tag. You could use Order 66 with Palpatine, and that would just make Palpatine, in my mind, that much cooler. But you could have a Cody, a clone sergeant, you could have an ARC trooper, all of those Order 66. I think it would be really, really powerful. Now, would they be anti-Jedi? Well, of course they would be. I think that would be one of the few changes that you would see with an Order 66 tag. Now, maybe that's not something you give the clones. Maybe that's something that you give to Palpatine. Maybe that's an actual ability that triggers other abilities. Now, I don't think that would be a small thing in code to change, but I think that it would be a powerful change that would come for the clones. Now, the clones in and of themselves are powerful. They're a really good faction. They're a really good team. I love Rex. I think he's awesome. But I think it would be a lot of fun to see this tweak. Now, if they didn't give that change to Palpatine, maybe they give us a new Palpatine. And that's one of the things that he has. Order 66 Palpatine. I don't necessarily know. I don't think that with all the changes that we've seen with Palpatine, I don't think that we need a new Palpatine. Maybe a beefed up Sidious I could totally see. And, a Senator Palpatine. I mean, that's different. But a Chancellor Palpatine, a new Palpatine, I don't think that we necessarily need in the form of like what we have in Attacking Palpatine. But having a character, having the clones have the Order 66 tag, or having them have that ability to kind of switch and then turn on the Jedi would be awesome. I think it would be really, really cool. Now, next up on the list is Savage Opress and Darth Maul being added to the Night Sister. Now, this, I'm just shocked that it kind of hasn't happened yet. Savage Opress is a Night Brother. Same thing with Darth Maul, right? The whole connection with Savage is he was a double agent for Mother Talzin to get, close to Dooku to be able to take out Dooku. Same thing with Maul. I mean, well, Maul was, different. Mother Talzin is Maul's actual mama, right? That's not something that's truly his mom. I mean, he is a Night Brother. So having that connection, I think, would really open up the Night Sister faction. They're good. I think they're a fun team. If you are a mid-level player, then definitely a fun team to play. If you are an end-game player with these characters, kind of higher up, this is a great team to play. I love the Night Sisters. I think they're a lot of fun. 3v3 makes crazy amounts of use out of these characters. They're very good. I think they could be better. And just the addition of those characters as Night Sisters would make them all the better. Now, their current kits, Maul and Savage Opress, don't really lend themselves to a Night Sister team, with the exception of, I think Savage is a little more accurate or a little more Night Sister friendly. But I think it would be really, really cool. Next, I think that the Death Trooper should have an affinity not only with Krennic, but with freaking Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, I just finished the Thrawn series, the Thrawn trilogy. I'm very excited for Thrawn Chaos Rising, Thrawn Ascendancy Chaos Rising that comes out September 1st. you can get yourself a free copy if you check out the link in the section below by signing up for Audible. I just finished it, and Thrawn works pretty closely with a Death Trooper. That's not something that is necessarily unique to the books. We also see Death Troopers in the episode of the attack on Chopper Base, where Thrawn actually lands on Chopper Base and surrounded by, and then he kills the Bendu. Right? Crazy, but he does it. I think having Thrawn have that affinity with the Death Trooper, and maybe have the connection that the Death Trooper does all those things, but also for Thrawn, I think would be really cool. And I think it would make the Death Trooper just that much better and more useful. Like you've got Krennic's Guard, if it was just like Imperial Guard or Death Trooper Guard. Like, one of the things that's interesting in here is his Krennic's Guard, which is the one that is Theta ability, reads: when Death Trooper scores a critical hit, he and Director Krennic recover 15% health. Death Trooper has a 50% chance to regain 50% turn meter whenever Krennic is damaged. What if it were like 40% turn meter, where it's like whether Krennic or Thrawn is damaged? What if he gets that same ability for Thrawn, right? The additional Zeta plus 5% heal plus 50% turn meter, so it's 100% turn meter, 100% chance to gain turn meter whenever Krennic is. What if it was 100% chance turn meter whenever Thrawn? Because then what you're doing is Thrawn then attacks back, and he gets turn meter. That's freaking awesome. That's really one of the only abilities that really even connects him to Krennic, right? If they just open it up to Thrawn, I think it would be really cool, right? It would be neat, and I think he would be more useful, and I think it would make Thrawn a little bit better. I don't know. What do you guys think with that one? Next on the list, and this is not something that I think I'm clearly not the only person that wants this, but freaking give Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum the Phoenix tag. I mean, yeah, she's a rebel, but she is a member of the Phoenix Squadron. Maybe not officially, but her death, like, affected Phoenix more than it affected most other rebellion characters. Like, that's the thing, right? She's a part of the Phoenix Squad, but as a part of the Phoenix Squad, it would open up the whole Phoenix Squad to being better. Like, Phoenix and Geos are like the first two factions that people farm, and this should be like, Geos have viability after that initial farm. Phoenix doesn't, right? Once you get Thrawn, once you start being able to unlock, Jedi Master Jedi Master Yoda and others, like, Phoenix really kind of loses its viability. Yes, they're good with the ships, the Phantom and the Ghost. Yes, but they could be much better, and that's unfortunate. I think a quick fix for this would just be giving her that. Now, adjusting her kit, maybe adjusting the Phoenix Squad, yes, but a quick fix would be just give Ahsoka Tano Phoenix tag. Now, next up, and this is one that I think that would be really interesting, give Visus Mar a Sith Empire tag. Now, Visus Mar's abilities, her kits, are focused against Sith, so this doesn't necessarily open her up to like becoming the greatest, but it allows the Sith Empire one more character who's good to be able to attack other Sith. Now, she's a great character. She's just really underutilized because, like, if you look at her, she's light sign, she's a healer, and that's it, right? Her unique return to the light, while Visus Mar has no buffs, she has a 100% counter chance, 60% chance to attack at a turn when an enemy attacks a Sith, right? So it's very Sith specific. But I don't know. I just think that if they gave her the Sith Empire tag, maybe even made her a Jedi. Now, that is a loose term because Visus Mar, I think she was a Jedi to begin with. Now, I might be mistaken there. But I do know that she was like a de facto, an unofficial Jedi Padawan in KOTOR 2. And I think that it would be really cool to give her a Jedi tag. Now I understand why they don't, and I understand why they didn't. But at least, at the very least, give her an Old Republic tag. I mean, those two editions, Sith Empire, Old Republic, two very specific kits, very specific changes, but would make Visus Mar so much more usable in this game. And I think it would be awesome. I think it would be really cool. But we haven't seen much use out of her, and I'd love to see that. Now, it would change the overall effectiveness of the Sith Empire, of the Old Republic, but I think it's needed. I really, really do. Now, next up is just one that's my kind of pet peeve that they haven't done just yet. If you've watched my channel at all for any length of time, you know that I am an Ewok fanboy. I love me some murder bears. And as much as I love the murder bears, I haven't spent much time actually developing my murder bear crew. I think they sit around gear 11. I think I've got a couple that are gear 12. I don't have any that are gear 13. But again, one of the reasons why I don't is because of their usefulness. Yes, they're effective at gear 13, really a relic 7 at anything against anything that's not relic is very useful. But who has the time with all the other stuff that's coming up, right? Whales, probably. Krakens, definitely. I don't know. But one of the things that I would love to see added is a Geonosian Brood Alpha ability. Now, the Ewoks are very much like, they're like the bunnies of the Star Wars universe. They just multiply. They multiply in abundance. Now, I don't have any proof to that, but it just feels right. And I would love to see a Chief Chirpa have an ability where he calls in an Ewok warrior, right? Someone who is quality that does attacking damage. Maybe not someone who's great with defense, right? Maybe instead of, like we see the Geo Brood Alpha, we have as that defensive ability, maybe we get one that's an attacker. I think that would be really cool, especially considering all the assists that the Ewoks get. Now, I think that this could actually make them overpowered. Now, I don't want to necessarily change all Ewoks or even introduce a new Ewok. I want Chief Chirpa to be Chief Chirpa Alpha, or Chief Brood Alpha, or Chief I don't know, something to that effect, where he just calls in a new character. I think it makes sense because Ewoks outnumbered and outstrategized, surprisingly enough, the Empire on Endor, and I think that it would make sense for them to have a reinforcement type ability, and it just, to me, it would be awesome. Now, again, it should be an attacking ability, not necessarily a defensive ability, because they're Ewoks and they're expendable. That sounds wrong to say, but let's face it, guys, it's pretty accurate. Now, finally, the one thing that I think would make a huge difference to this game and make this game a lot more fun, I've said it before, and I think that it would be awesome, but give us a reskin and a kit upgrade of Ugnaught and IG-86, turn them into Quill and IG-11. We have characters from The Mandalorian, and they're pretty freaking awesome. But we don't have that full Mando team, right? Now, I'm not saying bring in those bounty hunters. I don't want the bounty hunters. That Twi'lek annoyed the absolute crap out of me. The hissing was just weird, but bring in those two characters. Part of the reason why I love the season 1 of Mandalorian, the powerful interaction between IG-11 and Quill and the Ugnaught. It is so cool to see those characters interact. One, with each other, but then two, seeing IG-11 interact with Mando, who is squeamish, is skittish around droids, and for good reason. So I don't know, guys. I think these are just some small changes that I would like to see. Now, clearly, they're probably not as small as I'm making them out to be, but I do think they would make a lot of these characters that we've farmed, that we've put by the wayside, more useful and viable and better. And I don't see why we couldn't have these in our midst. I don't know, guys. What changes would you like to see to characters that I think that you think would make this game that much better, right? What changes would you like to see to characters that would make this game more enjoyable for you? Leave a comments in the section below. Let me know what you guys think. I do try to respond to all the comments. Additionally, guys, as I mentioned earlier, Thrawn Chaos Rising is coming out September 1st. I am very excited. I will be buying the book and I will be getting the audiobook. I'm stoked. I love listening to these books on audio. Audible is an amazing platform. If you don't listen to audio, do yourself a favor. Try the free link out in the section below. You get 2 free books for 1 month. You don't pay a dime. You quit, you don't pay a dime, right? But you keep the books. Thrawn episodes 1 through 3, or Thrawn basic Thrawn alliances, and Thrawn treason are amazing novels. I absolutely love them. And if you don't want to get the new Thrawn, go back and get the other ones, right? If you're a fan of the legacy or the Legends stories, go back and get yourself some Legends stories, because they are the bomb diggity, guys. But you get your free trial there in the section below. Also in the section below, you can get masks, t-shirts, really pretty much as you want from the Going Nerdy swag store in the link below. Every time you buy something, you help the channel out. I've got some stuff up now that will be going to help. I'm going to be getting my own stuff for masks. I'm really excited about it. Every time you make a purchase, you do help the channel. I do appreciate that. Let me know, again, what you guys think. Like, subscribe, share. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, smile and stay nerdy.